Okay, so the latest transfer news from Man United. We're going to have a look at Wan-Bissaka. Is he signed? Is he any good? What's he like? Where's he from? Will he fit in with Man United? So we'll have a good look at Wan-Bissaka. And also a quick Pogba update. Now, firstly, quickly, Pogba. I think it's no surprise. I think he's probably got his heart set on a move to Real Madrid. From what we understand, Real Madrid are interested in him, and it will be a choice between him and Christian Eriksen from Spurs. Apparently, word has it, the president would prefer Christian Eriksen. Whether that's his transfer fee will be smaller or not, I don't know. Zidane would prefer Pogba. Be interested to know what your thoughts on it are, whether Man United should lose Pogba or not. Personally, I think he's a distraction on the club, on the team. There's no doubt his ability and his stats are excellent, but I think he's an unnecessary distraction. I think Solskjaer needs to get down to base level and rebuild, and hopefully he'll be given the chance for that. Now, secondly, Wan-Bissaka. I think Sky Sports have reported that Man United have made a 40 million bid to Crystal Palace for the right back. That's been turned down, and talk is that Man United will go back with an increased bid. Now, we're not privy to the exact details of what's happening, but I would suggest that it looks like a deal that Man United would benefit from. Now, we'll have a quick look at Wan-Bissaka, because he's known traditionally as a defensive right back, and if you look back in his history, that's not what he is. So a little bit about him. So he's born in England, he's English, age 21. He's Congolese descent, so I think he's actually played once for the Congo under-20 side. He's also played internationally for England under-21, and he's right on the fringes of the senior England squad. Although looking at the right backs ahead of him, it's going to be a tough ask with Trent Alexander-Arnold playing the last game for England and come off the back of a superb season with Liverpool. But he's right on the fringes there. Now, he's come right through the Crystal Palace youth ranks. He's been at Crystal Palace since he was about age 11, I think it was. He's come through, and he was a winger. He's always been a winger, and people see him as a defensive player, but he's got some great qualities as an attacking right back, which we'll go into shortly. But he started life as a winger, come right through the youth ranks as a winger, and at under-23 level, in the under-23 squad, they converted him into a right back. And he got his sort of big break really back in February 18. Roy Hodgson, there was a couple of injuries. Roy Hodgson had to bring him into the side, and it was against, I think it was against Tottenham. Yeah, against Tottenham. And Roy Hodgson very much said it's a case of, it's one of those games where it's sink or swim, and the guy swam. So he then went on. The next game was, I think, Man United. Next game was Chelsea, which he was involved in both. So Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea, 3 big games to come into the side as a young 20-year-old at right back. And he did superbly, and that shows something for his temperament, because over the years you've seen players come to Man United and they've put on the shirt and you can see they cower a little bit. They don't quite seem to fill the shirt, and big stadium, big crowd, expectations, and some of them don't quite live up to the name. Now, he's got a good temperament. He's very well thought of by the fans and the setup at Crystal Palace. And the Crystal Palace fans have got a chant, your wingers don't like him, sang to the Clash's Rock the Casbah. So you can see, and we'll have a look at some of his stats on his defensive abilities. In the early days, he was caught out of position quite a bit, but they've worked on that at Crystal Palace, and you can see, looking at his stats, he's very much come on. Now, attacking wise, he's not seen as an attacking fullback, but like I mentioned, he was a winger, so he's got that ability to go past a defender. And in fact, he's actually had more duels, one-on-ones against defenders than Alexander-Arnold. I think it's over 7 times a match he takes on a defender, compared to Trent Alexander, who is under 5 times a match. And he's got an equally good success rate, 56% success rate. I think the fact that he's not seen as an attacking thing is his assists, obviously, which we'll have a look at in a second, are lower than Trent Alexander-Arnold. But, you know, you can look at the quality of the players that he's delivering the ball into, and you know, it's without doubt, you know, if Alexander-Arnold puts a good ball into the penalty area, there's a higher success rate of that being converted into a goal than it is, you know, no disrespect to Crystal Palace, but you know, there isn't the same quality to finish off there. So this lad has got attacking capabilities, and he's very quick. You know, he's got good positional play when he goes forward. He's got a variety of crosses, and he sees what's happening in the box, and you know, the bits I've seen him play, I can see that. So I don't think Man United will have a problem with him from an attacking point of view. Now, we'll have a look at his stats for 18-19. I did go back to his 17-18 season and have a quick look, and against Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, you know, very, very few stats for Wan-Bissaka in 17-18. I think he only played about 7 appearances. But Trent Alexander-Arnold was really not a lot to show back in that season. I think he had 19 appearances. So you can see where one season can really propel you if you're the right player in the right setup with the right mindset and the right foundational qualities. So let's have a look at some of his stats. So we're going to compare him to Trent Alexander-Arnold. So tackles, Wan-Bissaka 129 compared to Alexander-Arnold's 61. Tackles won, Bissaka 69%, Trent Alexander-Arnold 64%. And in fact, Wan-Bissaka is one of the top players across Europe for tackles won and success rate on tackles. Now that sort of stat normally goes to a midfielder, so as a fullback you can see defensively he's very sound. Interceptions 84 compared to Alexander-Arnold's 35. You'd expect that. Crystal Palace had to do more defending, but it shows he's in the right place at the right time. Clearances 129 compared to Alexander-Arnold's 62. Again, you'd expect that with the defensive setup that Crystal Palace had to have last year. Headed clearances. Now, in the game last year against Burnley, Dyche thought there could be a weakness with the aerial ability of Wan-Bissaka, and they very much set out a plan to test him, you know, in the air, and you know, it failed. They struggled to get past him down the wings, and you know, they tried putting in those deep crosses to the back post, and it didn't work. And when you look at his headed clearances, 59 compared to Trent Alexander-Arnold 22. He's a 6-footer, by the way. And aerial battles won, 43 compared to Alexander-Arnold's 9. So he's got that aerial ability as well. So if, you know, some teams where there's a smaller fullback like to pull their larger centre forward onto the back post to try and exploit that, well, they won't be able to with Wan-Bissaka. The big area which everybody's a little bit concerned about, I think, is he's attacking. Now, shots 9 compared to Trent Alexander-Arnold's 29. Assists 3 compared to Trent Alexander-Arnold's 12. So you can see there, from a stats point of view, he looks deficient in the attacking thing, but Crystal Palace very much played a counter-attack. They had to spend long spells of games defending that back line, and you know, it's an unfair comparison really, but you can see he's more than prepared to take on a defender with the amount of times he goes at a defender, over 7 times a match, and the success rate, over 50% success rate of beating them. So I don't think there's a worry in terms of his attacking capability. Now, looking at his passing, pass completion 73% compared to Trent Alexander 77%, so not too far off there. But one thing that is really interesting is when you look at passes backwards and forwards, he's very much a positive player looking to go forward. Out of Trent Alexander passes, 296 went back compared to Wan-Bissaka's 135. And that's quite a low pass back stat. And with that pass success and that positivity, it shows that he's a player that's looking forwards and looking to go forwards, and he completes them. So to summarise, I think he's an excellent signing for Man United. I mean, obviously Valencia was poor really the last year or two. Ashley Young comes under an awful lot of criticism as a fullback. I think he's got the defensive capabilities there, which we can all see, and what he's probably been tagged as a very good defender in his first real full season. But don't forget, this lad spent all his youth career being developed as a right winger, and so he's got that in his toolbox. He's able to jink past a player, he's got the pace. He just perhaps hasn't had the same license to go forward, or the build-up play isn't there for them at Crystal Palace. And when he has done, and he's had great success getting past his defender, there isn't been the quality of attacker to put it in the net. So I think it'll be a great signing. I think the key with Wan-Bissaka will be who they put alongside him as a central defender. And I think, as with all great teams, you need that spine through from the goal, the central defender, central midfielder, through to your centre forward. And I think that central midfield, central defensive spot is really important. And for a young lad like Wan-Bissaka, it's probably even more so, because he's still really only one full season into the Premiership. But looking at the other fullbacks about and who may be available and who isn't, I think he's as good as Man United are going to find out there. I suspect Crystal Palace will probably want 50-60 million for him, and I would think that probably 50 million would get him. We understand Man United have got plenty of money to put out there. I personally think it's a really good signing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like the channel, like the video, please like and subscribe below. That would be really appreciated. And thanks for watching.